Hey friends, and welcome. This is Dr. Heather coming to you live from Ask Dr. Heather. We are here on day 8 on 10 ways to win the war against your fat with 10 super easy health hacks that you can implement in just 10 days to start losing fat in simple, easy health hacks that again you can do each and every day of your life. So I want to thank everybody who has been sharing these amazing past 7 days. I want to thank everybody who's been reporting in about what's happening in their body. Hey Justin, nice to see you here. I've been having people saying that their pants are falling off, the scales haven't moved a bunch. Remember, this is not all about big scale victories, about losing 20 pounds in 10 days. It's about doing layered health hacks. It's about taking super simple, easy health hacks like stop the snacking, eat in an 8-hour time frame, get good quality sleep, stop eating so many carbs. And then what happens is as your body starts to get in this rhythm, you're going to realize that when your body's eating healthy foods, it craves and it thanks you by losing unwanted fat, by losing inflammation, by having better digestion, by having better moods, by having better sleep. And all of a sudden you start realizing this is the lifestyle I want to live. So what is day 8 about? Day 8 is about ditching the processed artificial sugar stuff. I still have people asking me, because on day one, if you missed day 1, please go back and listen. Day 1 is about just eating and drinking. So day 1 was, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comments at the same time, I should not do that. Day 1 was no snacking, eat 3 square meals a day, not 6 to 17 like the average American, and drink only water, coffee, tea, or pure therapeutic exogenous ketones. And what I didn't say is don't put sugar or artificial sweetener in your coffee or tea. We know that when people are doing things like diet soda with artificial sugar, artificial sweetener, things like that. So this is what today is. It's ditching the artificial sweeteners. And Jello, sugar-free pudding, sugar-free sweet and low this, sweet and low that, aspartame. We're gonna ditch all those things. Studies show that the average person puts on anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds drinking beverages with artificial sweeteners in it. Yes, what happens is it tricks your taste buds into thinking, oh, that's sweet. And so your body thinks the same thing happens when you're chewing gum and mints that have 0 calories but have artificial sweeteners in it. Your body thinks, oh, food's coming, I'm drinking, I'm tasting something sweet, I'm thinking that there's maybe some calories in here, or there's something coming. Your body starts dumping insulin, even though food doesn't come along, especially if you're insulin resistant, you're metabolic resistant, your body thinks food's coming, so all of a sudden it starts getting the body ready to process foods, and then you still can end up with getting some fat deposits on the other end of things. So ditch the artificial sweeteners, finally ditch them all. And we know these 10 days we're ditching sugar as well. So we're ditching any artificial sweeteners, any natural sugars such as honey and molasses and things like that. But what is allowed, and this is what people ask me, well, what can we use in our tea or our coffee or our baking? We're not doing much baking this week, but you can use something like erythritol or Swerve or allulose or Truvia. Make sure it's a good quality. Truvia has been out for several years. There are some that are very low quality. You want to make sure it's from the true plant, Truvia, because people can actually grow that now. So again, oh, thanks Via, thanks for joining us. Amy, thanks for joining. Mike, I want to say everybody thanks for joining us. But yes, you can actually gain anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds a year by drinking things like diet soda or putting artificial sweetener in things like Jello or things like tea or things like your coffee. So ditch it, but you can use things like Swerve again, or xylitol, erythritol. Some of those sugar alcohols actually have some carbs, but they do not raise your glycemic index. When they say it raises your glycemic index, it raises your blood sugar ultimately, which ends up in you depositing fat. It also can cause inflammation, and there's so many studies that have been shown out there for decades now what happens with artificial sweeteners like aspartame. When they give it to mice and rats and laboratory animals, they end up getting rare diseases or common diseases like MS, or they get cancer. So ditch the artificial sweeteners. We don't even want to do monk fruit this week, because I've even found that monk fruit can still raise your blood sugar, glucose. So no monk fruit this week at all, but yes to allulose, yes to Truvia, yes to, and I'll put these up above, and yes to xylitol, yes to erythritol, yes to Swerve. And I bake with this, and the Swerve comes in confectionate sugar, granulated sugar. It comes in a brown sugar as well, so it comes in several different forms. It also comes in little drops that you can take. So I know a lot of you use this. Give me a thumbs up. So I know a lot of people use different varieties of Swerve, but it's great for baking. It can leave a little bit of an aftertaste, but again, it's safe to use in your coffee or your tea that we're doing. So I'm just gonna review these because we were doing super quick. Remember, let me know where you're joining from. We have people joining from around the globe, so some people may be sleeping if you're in, actually, I'm gonna say Justin's joining us from Australia, so I know he's awake. I think they're plus 17 from, I'm in Kansas, so I'm Central Standard Time. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know how many days you participated in, because we're at day 8 right now. So let's just review our 10 days at winning the war against unwanted fat that may have gained during the quarantine or quarantine period, maybe from spring break that never ended, or maybe it's still there from the holidays. For whatever reasons, we're doing our layered hack learning, 10 simple health hacks. So hack number 1 was drink only water, coffee, tea, or ketones, and drink at least half your body's weight in water each and every day. If you're drinking more than 2 or 3 servings of caffeine or work in a hot environment, you sweat really good during your workout, like a hot yoga or a kickboxing class or running outside, make sure you get another 8 to 10 ounces of water. Day number 2, your last meal 4 hours before bedtime. This can be a huge game changer for your quality of sleep, for getting the glucose out of your body, and really waking up refreshed the next day. Day number 3, we talked about how important the sleep is. We also talked about sleep hygiene, about getting your bedroom cleaned up, getting the blue lights out of your bedroom, shutting off the lights, helping your body make its own natural melatonin. Day 4, we talked about ways to get extra movement in and really what the minimum requirements are for each and every person around the globe. Many of us aren't even getting the minimum requirements. So go back and watch it for day 4. Day 5, intermittent fasting. Each and every one of us now should be eating in an 8-hour time frame. Remember, eating isn't a meal. Eating is taking calories. So maybe you just finished dinner and it's 8:29 here Central Standard Time. Say you had dinner at 6 o'clock, but man, like, oh, I'd like to have 4 or 5 cashews, or I want to have some celery and some nut butter. That's calories. That's considered a meal. So no, we're done eating at 6 or 6:30 for the day. That's in my 8-hour time frame. My next meal will be tomorrow. However, I can have water. I can have some tea if I wanted to. I could definitely have some pure ketones if I wanted to that are caffeine free. So you can definitely have those things if you want that are 0 calorie. That's not going to spike my blood sugar. I don't drink coffee this late, but I could definitely have some herbal tea if I wanted to. And then day 6 is when we really challenge you. So we're going to eat in an 8-hour period, and it's called the 8-16 fasting. We said ditching the carbs, ditch the bread, ditch the potatoes, the cakes, cookies, and pies. That was the first day we really challenged you to cut out the carbohydrates, or the garbage, I like to call it. And then yesterday I challenged you to ditch the dairy, and somebody said, well, how long do we ditch the dairy? I would love you all to try it for 30 days, honestly, because you're going to realize how inflammatory dairy is. If you're worried about extra unwanted fat, if you have hormone imbalances, whether you're male or female, you have inflammation, you can go to notmilk.com and you can look at the ABCs or A through Zs of all the different disease processes that are related to dairy. I grew up on a dairy farm here in Kansas, believe it or not. My dad was a dairy farmer. We had Holstein cows. We milked twice a day, but you can still have butter. You can still have ghee. For some reason, they do not cause the inflammatory processes that the processed dairy is causing these days. So I did go ahead and include a YouTube video yesterday that goes into more length of why I say ditch the dairy. I know the true ketogenic diet, low carb diet, paleo diet all include dairy on it, but the dairy you're getting today is not the dairy that we used to have, or the dairy that my dad could go get out of the vat right after he freshly milked cows. So ditch the dairy, challenge yourself, or ditch it for 10 days and then come back and go have a big scoop of ice cream, or have some cottage cheese, or have some plain Greek yogurt, and then see how you feel. And then see what happens the next day. Do you have gas? Do you have bloating? Do you have achy joints? Just notice how you feel. Be your own detective when that comes to it. And today we are cutting out the artificial sweeteners. And go ahead and challenge yourself. Let's cut out just anything that's artificial at all. Any artificial colorings, any artificial flavorings, any artificial preservatives. Let's just cut it out and let's just eat real whole food. So how about some prime rib tomorrow night with some mashed cauliflower and some green beans with some slivered almonds? How about that? That sounds like delicious. Or why don't you have some sushi? Or why don't you have a nice, some nice grilled salmon with a side of broccoli, with some grass-fed butter on top, with a nice salad with a bunch of balsamic vinegar, with some chopped cucumbers on top. It can be that delicious for dinner. Tomorrow morning, have some nice eggs with some sauteed greens and some grass-fed butter or coconut oil. Nice, decadent, delicious meals that everyone will enjoy. The key again is to talk about that tomorrow. So today, ditch the processed stuff. Again, this is absolutely meant to be shared. It's always my goal is to educate you and help you become your own detective when it comes to your health. And hopefully, again, along the last 8 days, you found 1 or 2 tools that have really unlocked the key to your plateau, whether your plateau has been about inflammation, whether your plateau has been about pain, whether your plateau has been about fat, whether your plateau has been just about sleep. Hopefully something's really triggered your body and unlocked the secret, and now you've really moved your way towards success. So I do want to welcome you guys and thank you guys for jumping on today. Again, and you can watch the past replays from the past days. We will be giving out some nice freebie offers tomorrow. We did that a couple, day 1, I think, and day 5. So we're going to give out some free offers tomorrow. So you will not want to miss tomorrow as we jump on here. And I will try to keep it towards the evening time. I think it's a better time for everybody. I know it's still late. I'm just getting home from the office, but you guys have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully there's one health hack. And if you've got a health hack that really has made a big difference in your health, share it down below. Let me know what day or what health hack that was that really has helped your body be the best version of yourself, or really uncrack that plateau that you've been maybe stuck at for the last couple months. So again, I've had people sharing, I've lost 2.5 pounds, I've lost 3 pounds, I've lost this, I feel less inflammation, I feel better, I feel happier. Let me know what's happening inside your body and where you're joining from. Again, this is Dr. Heather Carden from Overland Park, Kansas. And yes, I've been told to talk slow. I'm very sorry. You can always watch on a replay. I want to make sure I keep this short and sweet because I want to keep your attention span. But thanks again for joining me. You guys have an amazing night's sleep. Remember, turn off all your blue lights 45 minutes before bedtime. You can read, you can take a bath, you can do some yoga, you can meditate, turn the TV off, turn your iPad off, turn your computer off, and tell your phone good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.